All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan here. Not on CROSSFIRE, but on my own channel. And I am joined today by Mr. Jeff Frank. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing really well. Snowy day in Alberta, but doing really good.
Okay. Well, I hear you've got a little bit of a tournament happening, and people have been talking about it a little bit, and you've announced a few guests. Nobody that's really a big deal yet, right?
Yeah, no, not yet. We'll see some big deals maybe at the end of the show.
Well, let's talk about the tournament itself. So, date, time, location, all that fun stuff.
So what we have is August the 8th, 2020, Red Deer, Alberta, Canada, for the Red Deer Summer Arm Wrestling Charity Classic. It's going to be held at the Parkland Pavilion at the Western Park in beautiful Red Deer, Alberta. It's an awesome venue. That venue hosts the Red Deer Rebels of the WHL Hockey League. It's the actual Parkland Pavilion is it hosts 1,500 people. It's a big venue. While we're having that, it's going to be the concessions are going to be running. Cash bar will be going. It'll be fully staffed by the pavilion staff themselves. So yeah, the venue is looking good.
So you got yourself a venue, you got yourself a date, and what do we need to know about this tournament? Maybe we should talk about the special guests.
Well, let's start. I think most importantly about the foundations here.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
And so I'm really excited. This is a 100% nonprofit tournament, and it is going to two foundations, both really good foundations. One being Kids Sport out of Red Deer, obviously a foundation that promotes sports to children with that might be financially strapped or maybe not have the means to get out and do sports. So one of the things with that foundation is we hope to have a group of kids that are be VIP guests and watch these super matches go down. The other one being the Ronald McDonald House. I really don't need to say much about that foundation. That's an awesome foundation. The Ronald McDonald House, obviously a housing unit for families that are while their sick children are in the hospital. So that one's extremely important too, and it's a great foundation to donate. And I think with this tournament, the way it's looking, we should be able to raise a lot of money for both these charities.
Now, that's awesome. The charities you're doing this for are really good ones, and I love that you're doing it. But you have got the makings of possibly the biggest tournament of all times as far as Supermatch card and the tournament itself.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about who you have coming? And aside from the special announcement, which we'll save for the end of the show, we'll make everyone sit through the first part of it. Who are the confirmed matches that you have coming? Or first of all, let's talk about the special guests maybe that aren't related to the end of the show.
So I mean, and I apologize. It's been a whirlwind of a week. My phone's been blowing up, messages coming from all over. Special guests. Obviously, we're going to have the legend, Mr. Ron Bath. He's going to be there. Matt Mask, the Wild Horse. He's going to be there. Super excited. So we'll see what kind of transpires there with him there. And of course, yourself, Brian Espey, and you'll also be pulling in a super match. And then, Gabriella Vasconcelos, I don't need to say much more, the best on the planet female puller today. So excited to have her and her husband come up, and it's honestly surreal right now. So
who do you have confirmed for matches? Let's go through them one at a time.
Okay.
And I want to talk a little bit about each one. So
Sure.
They're pretty exciting. So
first up, we're going to have, I did list it as match one, but I'm going to switch this around a bit, and I apologize because it's kind of been scrambled. But match number one is going to be Jesse Halliday from Edmonton, Alberta, going against Tim Tallmadge from, I do believe he's from Vancouver, Washington. And that'll be I believe that's a right-hand match. I'll have to confirm.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about either one of these guys, but from what I've seen, they match up well.
Yeah, Jesse Halliday, Tim Tallmadge has been around for a while. I met Tim. He's a fantastic guy. And Jesse Halliday, he's relatively new, but I mean that guy he's a smoke show of an arm wrestler. I believe he finished second and third at nationals in only his second year pulling. I believe he's a provincial champion. He's went left hand against Fraser Benoit and gave him an absolute run for his money. He ended up losing to Fraser, but he's the real deal. So then, match number 2, we have Mr. Joe Fox from Grand Prairie, Alberta, against Curtis Klaczynski from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Maybe we'll call this a little bit of a grudge match, I guess. Joe is extremely pumped for this match. He's messaging me a lot. He is going to be training like a madman. Of course, Joe is a provincial or a national champion right hand, and Curtis Klaczynski, he's no joke. I found that out a month ago. So,
well, the thing about Curtis is he got a lot of attention, possibly for the wrong reasons, after his match with you, because of the show he put on. And I remember Joe being very outspoken about that performance, and Joe saying, "Please, please, please give me that match." So this could be one of the more entertaining matches of the day, and both those guys were trash talking each other a little bit, and it's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, that one's going to be really good. Like Curtis felt extremely good. There's no doubt he puts his heart into it, and Joe's the same way. Joe's right hand is like granite. I felt that a lot. I felt Curtis has got speed. His IQ is up there. But I will say, pulling them both, Joe has a way stronger hand, and I mean Joe's hand is granite. So that'll be really interesting.
Joe is outweighed by quite a bit in this match, isn't he?
He is. I think Curtis is coming in at 235. I think he is going to drop down a bit, and Joe is going to bulk up a bit for this match. So it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be a good match either way. So,
nice.
Yeah, so then match number 3, and I'm sorry I got to go back to my notes because it's been just that kind of a card that I got to go back and look what
you got so many matches, they're hard to remember all of them.
So just bear with me 1 second. So match number 3, we're going to have Annie Beals and Angie Rose right-hand match.
Now, that is interesting because Annie looked really good at nationals. Have they pulled before? Is there history here?
I believe they did pull at nationals in Quebec, and Angie Rose did get the best of her. If I think that's correct. So I think they have pulled, but let me tell you, Annie Beals is something else, and her evolution in the game of arm wrestling is increasing at an incredible pace. So, looking at the polls that I posted, it's almost a 50-50 split. I'm kind of shocked, but, there's a lot of belief that Annie can pull this off.
Well, it's an interesting match. This is probably the first match where the World Arm Wrestling League is going to sit up and take notice and be watching very carefully what the outcome is. Of course, Angie already being involved, but potentially for Annie to get her shot there too.
Yeah, exactly. And this is her chance to really get out there and shine and show what she's about, to the world. And it's going to be interesting. Angela Rose is no joke, and she's extremely strong. And yeah, it'll be interesting. I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah.
So moving on from there, we have match number 4. Now this one I am so interested in about, and this is right-handed match between Alan Ford and Chuck Young. Now, go ahead, Ryan.
I dig it. It's Alan Ford is one of the most underrated guys at around 200 pounds.
Yes.
And he's been maybe a little bit away from the sport or just out of the spotlight a little bit, but Alan has got some big wins over a lot of guys. Like he's tied up RVJ. He's done the same with Hutchings. Like he's He's a machine, but he's coming in as the smaller man in this one. Presumably, Chuck is going to be around 230-ish or so.
Well, I think Chuck's even trying to get leaner than that. He's been messaging me quite a bit. I think he's trying to get down to 215, I believe.
Now, is there a reason for him to get down that far? Like, did you want him to get there, or is he just doing it because he wants to?
He's getting there because he wants to. When I was in Montana there, he had talked a lot about him wanting to get back down and losing some of that Chuck Chub he's got going on that he calls. But
he might want to stay heavy for this match.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I've seen a lot of Allen's matches, and there's no. He's the hitman for a reason, and he's like you say, the most underrated puller maybe in North America. When I felt Chuck Young's hand, since I've been arm wrestling, I have not felt a man with that type of hand anywhere. It is absolutely incredibly strong. If I say one thing about Chuck, he is fairly one-dimensional, but I mean that dimension that he has is extremely powerful. He has come such a long way on his ready goes, and boy, oh boy, that hand is. When I gripped up with him, I just knew like it's going to be a bad day. So, that'll be really interesting to see how that goes.
Now, who we got? Who's next on the list?
So moving on from there, we got another right-handed match, and this one again I am so excited for. I think highly of this guy from Alabama, but this is Kelly Leach and Dalton Duncan. Now Kelly Leach is an absolute great friend of mine, and obviously one of the most incredible arm wrestlers at his weight in Canada, if not North America. We got Dalton Duncan, which I've been watching closely for the last year, and boy, oh boy, I have no idea how this is going to go. Kelly Leach is incredibly hard to finish. He is incredibly quick, and he gets you in that hook, boy. Good night.
I think Kelly's awesome, and he's. I'm happy that he is getting to stay close to home and have the ability to pull somebody from outside the country and test himself in different ways. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't know who to call, but I would be shocked if somebody doesn't know exactly what they're getting into with Kelly, that they don't come out on the losing end of that match.
Yeah, it's boy. I'm just Dalton Duncan is just such a great kid. I've been talking to him over Messenger and stuff like that, and just when I watched him in Alabama, there like the speed and the power he has off that top roll is just incredibly insane. What he was able to do, whether he elbow fouled or not on Doug Allen, was just out of this world in my mind. So this
is the kind of event that really is entertaining because you're seeing guys go against each other that you might not have seen otherwise. Yeah. So a lot of entertaining possibilities are going to be coming up.
Yeah, it'll really be. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how these matches turn out. Like you said it best. Like you're not going to see these matches anywhere else. But so
that's right.
Yeah, moving on from there, we got some big boys coming out, and that is from Lethbridge, Alberta. We got the Bull, Len Houghton, the legend, going against a big boy from Fort Worth, Texas, and Brian Sitton. So
that is an intriguing match. Because I thought that for a long, and I still think it, that Brian Sitton is one of the up-and-coming super heavyweights from the United States. Mm-hmm. His training is super impressive. The weights he's moving is really good.
Exactly.
Len has a style that is not common amongst the super heavyweight arm wrestlers.
Correct.
And I hope he's training his ass off.
Well, I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say this. Len phoned me and he says, Jeff, I will be training like I've never trained before for this match. He wanted it. He wants the opportunity to pull a new guy, some new blood. And he said he's leaning. He's going to get lean. He's coming back as better than ever before. And he sounds dead serious. So look out.
I can't wait to see it because, again, it's one of those unknowns, right? So how good is Brian? And
exactly.
Is Len training hard? Like, yes. Can he deal with Len's style?
Yes.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, because I mean you're right. Len's just gonna grip up and he's gonna hit you with the Len power, and it's just one way, and you better hang on. So I hope Brian's gonna have to be ready for that, because look out if Len comes on like the old Len, it's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
So yeah, so moving on from there, another one that I'm just absolutely ecstatic about, and that's BLM and Stephen Marcoux.
We talked a little bit about this on CROSSFIRE the other night. So BLM coming in as a guy that's been calling out everybody and going down and hunting guys. So he's not just talking the talk. He's like going out and seeking these matches and going into people's backyards and then having them not necessarily, in the case of the last tournament, RBJ opted to not arm wrestle. So it was a bit of a shame that we weren't able to see the match, but BLM's on a roll, and Stephen presents a unique challenge because he's such a big guy for that weight. His hand is big, and I think it's going to be, like, I can't call it, and I know Stephen is good, and he has the ability to win that match, but so does BLM. It's going to be an awesome match.
Yeah, and for those that don't know Stephen, I understand that Stephen isn't a well-known name, but I watch Stephen pull regularly at our practices with Matt Mask, and I'll tell you right, if there's anybody that can make Matt work and make Matt sweat, it's Stephen Marcoux. And I mean, when Matt pulls Stephen, Matt has to work. That's how good Stephen is. And his hand is just incredibly strong. His wrist, Matt will be the first one to say, you get his wrist like this, I don't care who you are, it's not going that way. So, Brendan BLM is an absolute magician at getting you off the start and getting you in bad positions. So, yeah, we'll see.
The other nice thing about this tournament is a lot of these guys aren't known right now, but they damn well might be after the August the 8th. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's a matchup I'm really excited to see. So, yeah. Moving on from there, I got a new one that we added, and that is Gabriella's husband, Vitor Munoz, against the Canadian legend, Mike Gould.
Is there a catch weight on this one? Is there a weight limit on this match? Because Vitor seems like a guy who might be around 240.
So I'll say this, Mike has been calling me and saying he is very confident. He told me straight up on the phone when I was going up to Mayhem at the mall. He phoned me on the way up there. I called him, whatever. And he has assured me that he is going to come in at 240 pounds, if not lighter, and clean up on that entire division, his exact words. He's walking out of there the 242 champion, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So you do have a 242 weight class in the tournament.
Correct.
So he's pulling the tournament and he's pulling Vitor in a super match.
Correct.
That will be awesome because I think guys like BLM, Steven, they might jump in that tournament and pull my Gould after.
Right.
But Vitor looks like a big, strong guy too, and he's training possibly the best female arm wrestler on the planet. So he has to know something about us doing some training. So he's
Vitor, exactly. And Vitor is one of those guys. He's heavy, but that boy is muscular. He's lean. He's tall. He's lanky. Who knows? That's
it's a fun match, and it's an unknown match, and it might be a ticket for the coach to get into the World Arm Wrestling League too.
Right. Yeah. So, exactly. Another great match. So. The next match we're going to skip because we have an announcement later, and we're going to jump into the co-main event. And that is my good friend, one of my best buds, Fraser Benoit, and he's going against the Destroyer, Chuck Young, left-handed.
Oh, Fraser, his left is good, man. His left is real good. Not only is Fraser pulling he's pulling in about a month against
Jason Dubray
out in Thunder Bay at the Slamfest tournament.
Yeah.
Jason's looking good, but I think Fraser is, I don't know, against Chuck. It's hard to say because Fraser he's very versatile for,
Yes.
I don't know. That's a tough match to call, but I think I'm going to lean towards Fraser on that one. But man, Chuck could tie him up.
Yeah, it's as simple as this. As Chuck, it comes back to Chuck's hand and how strong it is. As ready goes, Chuck will be coming in doing what Chuck does best. And can Fraser stop that hit? I'll tell you right now, Fraser is a magician at the table. He's smart. He's intelligent. He knows how to work you. He knows how to frustrate you. He knows how to get the grip he wants. His left-hand hit is mind-blowing quick, and he sinks you into that hook. That is a tough hook to come out of.
Let me ask you a question. What rule set are you going by?
WAF.
Okay, then if you're going by WAF,
Yeah.
watch out for referee's grip from Fraser, and I think he takes the. Well, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long day for Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know who in Canada's felt Chuck lately. I know I have, and I have not felt hand strength like that from any man. His hand strength is sick. So, yeah.
And you and I have arm wrestled.
We have.
So you're saying Chuck's got a stronger hand than me?
Well, you got a big hand. Your hand is big. Your grip, Chuck, I guess for Chuck, he grabs different. So, your hand is large, your hand is very muscular, but the way Chuck grabs is just boom, and that grip that he has is insane. And I'm not going to kid, when he grabbed my hand, I could not close my fingers. When he put that pressure here, my fingers would not close. And
I gotcha.
So
I'm already formulating a Fraser strategy in my head.
So yeah, he's that boy. He works concrete every day, and he's got forearms about that big around. So but Fraser right now is looking like just completely jacked, completely ripped. He doesn't have an ounce of body fat on him, and he's might be 49 years old or whatever he is, but look out. I mean, Chuck's
73. 73.
Yeah. So moving on from that, oh boy, this one. We have our national champ, Christine Flicka, going against the best female arm wrestler, hands down, on the planet today, the one and only Gabriella Vasconcelos.
That's a mind blower. That's Gabriella just coming back from WAF. She is now the current reigning WAF champion and the current reigning WAL champion. Yeah. Has that ever happened before? Reigning WAF and WAL champion at the same time? I don't think that's ever happened.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I think it's probably a first.
That might be a first.
That's incredible. Gabriella coming in. I really like Flicka a lot, and I have been lobbying for her to get her shot in the World Arm Wrestling League. I tell you what, she puts the brakes on Gabriella in this match at all. I think she gets the shot.
Yeah, there's no question. I agree.
And Flicka, I mean, you can't count her out. She's definitely an underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I don't, I've never met Gabriella, so I know, I mean, her videos, her photos, her training regimen, they're all just, top notch. I have felt Christine's hand, and that hand is strong. She's powerful. She's got a great hit. She trains with Fraser almost every week. I agree.
There's one thing about Gabriella that she sometimes does that maybe Flicka can capitalize on. And that's just the fact that she sometimes pulls in a dead wrist. But, I mean, she did that against some pretty strong women lately.
Yeah.
And when I say dead wrist, I don't mean she's dropping it like Jerry, but she'll sometimes just let it go into a negative position a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it's actually a good point. I think it was either the semifinals or the finals at WAP. I seen that exact move where she was almost in a negative, but that power that she possesses it's almost like Todd Hutchins, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say that exact thing.
Yeah.
Todd Hutchins pulls the same way, lets his wrist go and powers through. He did it in that mask. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah. So interesting matchup. I can't wait to see that one. And we're going to move on to the main event. And the main event, the one and only, the Bomba Bull, Justin Bishop, going against Calgary, Alberta's Ali Hamidia.
Now, a lot of people don't give Ali a shot in this match.
They sure don't.
I disagree with that completely. I think that Ali has, and this is a left-handed match or right-handed match?
This is a left-handed match.
Yes. So Ali, left-handed. He has a win over Cody Merritt, doesn't he?
Well, I witnessed that live. I was there they pulled in the overalls in Vancouver, Washington, and he did not beat him. But I tell you what, I think if that match did not go to the straps, that was Ali's match. But once Cody got him in the straps, his hand was big, powerful, and he worked him. But
the fact that he could even put the brakes on a guy like Cody Merritt, who is now the 2-time WAF champion.
Yes.
He won the the Masters, not Grandmasters, Masters and the senior class.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ali is just one of those guys that's underrated, and a lot of people aren't paying attention to the left arm.
Yeah.
They will be more and more, but I think Ali is, man, he's top notch, and I think him pulling Bama Bull is a great match.
Yeah.
I think that it's a lot closer than people think.
Well, I've watched the league closely. We're good friends, and obviously the Bama Bull. I mean, what do you say? I mean, he's one of the best for sure. Incredibly strong. But some of the impressive things that I've seen from Ali is beating guys back to back, like Mark Gay and Dylan Houghton. Two guys that outweigh.
I mean, you got two super heavyweight guys from Alberta that Ali's beating those guys back to back. That's an incredible feat. That makes him a scary guy.
Yeah.
Particularly at his weight.
Yeah. So, the one thing, I know both guys are very mentally tough. They both have a great deal of belief in themselves, and Ali is a very, very confident feller. And he believes he's taking this. So
when somebody believes like that, who are we to say otherwise? But I think it's going to be an entertaining match, and it's going to be way, way closer than people think it is.
Yeah.
It's a different match. It's again one of these matches that you just probably wouldn't see on a regular basis.
That's correct.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is Ali not the national champion?
No, he did actually lose to, I believe his name is either Josh or John Terrian from Ontario, or he did lose. I do think going again, if that match happened, that Ali would take that convincing.
I remember it being wars.
Yeah, it was wars for sure, but he did come in second, but I think that given a rematch on that, I think Ali would. I felt Ali there last week again, and boy, oh boy, he's strong.
So all these matches we just talked about, they're happening on the Saturday, correct?
Yes, Saturday, August 8th.
And they are going to be on the front end or the back end of the tournament that's also happening.
So I'll give you a little bit of an itinerary about it. So it's going to be on the front end. The production that's going to go into these super matches is going to be huge. We're going to have professional stage lighting. All the contestants will have their own personalized game day shirts, jerseys, whatever you want to call it, names on it, sponsors on it. All the super match pros are going to have their own walkout tunnel, just like you'd see in MMA or something like that. They're going to be called individually. Lights are going to go down. We're going to have spotlights on the stage. It's, we're going to make these guys, look and be what they are, and that's rock stars in the world of arm wrestling. So, that's going to go down Saturday. It's going to be, the super matches will be held first, and then, into the professional tournament.
Excellent. So all the guys in the super matches could potentially be mixing it up even more in the tournament.
Well, from what I hear, I think every single super match puller has agreed to pull the tournament.
Matt Mask, is he going to pull the tournament?
My boy, Matt Mask, one of my best friends. I do not know. I can't read that guy from second to second. I think so I know talking to him last night, I think Matt is in a place right now where he needs some time off. He's taken that time off. I don't want to get into it too much, but he's just, his mind is not over the last year. His mind's just not been at it. But I know in this next 6 months that he is going to come back a rejuvenated, scary, scary man. And I think he is, talking to him, he's pretty excited about this tournament, and I would not be surprised, depending on what goes on with Wall, that he pulls it at some point or in some fashion.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, are you ready?
No, I'm not. We're gonna jump to Friday first before we get to the big announcement.
What are we doing?
So Friday we are gonna run this as a 2-day tournament. It's been blowing up. We got people come from California, Texas, Alabama, Brazil. I had a group message me from Mexico that I believe they're bringing up 6 people. So this is getting big, and I just wanted to thank everybody for the support. I did want to throw out a quick thank you to one of our first sponsors to jump on board, and that's Life Vantage, independent dealer Melanie Wakeland. She's an absolute phenomenal person, her and her husband Shane, and I wanted to say thank you for supporting this event. And so the sponsors are coming in, and I'm very thankful for that. Friday, we're going to be running a group of smaller super matches. We're going to be running a youth tournament and the amateurs on Friday, and then I think I got 6 or 7 smaller type name super matches they're just going to be just as exciting. So yeah,
like local guys, that kind of thing.
Yeah, actually I have myself going to be pulling Dalibor Begarich, so that'll be one that's going to kind of kick it off. We got a newcomer, Bobby Hunker, going to be going against Dalibor's son, Marin.
Bobby Hunker, that Brad Hunker's son?
That's Brad Hunker's son, and he's a big boy. So he pulls with us in Matt Mask, and I just added a new one, and we're going to have a rematch, grudge match between Paul Passmore's wife, Candy Passmore, against Blanca Vega. So that'll be happening Friday. And another one I'm going to announce is Joe Gould against Ronnie Vega.
No kidding.
You betcha.
That's awesome. It keeps getting better and better.
So those will be happening on Friday. And what else do I have to say about Friday? We'll be doing a meet and a greet and autograph signing with all the superstars and legends that night, and the kids can get their pictures taken with all these big names.
Nice.
One thing I will be doing with this tournament, and I'm excited to do this because I don't see this much in Canada, but that we will be doing an overall, and overalls too. So BLM, those boys, let's see who the baddest arm wrestler really is. I know he loves pulling overalls. I am actually working with the same individual from the States that creates the Oscars for a trophy. For the overall champion, and he's designing me a custom overall trophy for left hand and right hand. It's going to be a walnut 2-tiered base, big. I think we're looking at about 12 inches by 12 inches base diameter, and then we're going to have 2 large hands about another 12 inches inside coming together, your typical arm wrestling grip up, and they're going to be solid nickel plated.
Nice. So
it's going to be, it's one of the things I wanted to create for this is I want people to come out and, earn, give them trophies that, that they really want to put on display at their house. So
it's going to look good on my shelf.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it will. So
what are we talking about now, Jeff?
Well, we have a big announcement, and this just went down last night, and I am so excited that both of these guys have agreed. It's why I did not mention your super match or Paul Passmore's super match. Everybody has agreed to this 4-way super heavyweight left hand showdown. Quite possibly see who the baddest dude is in North America. And and the 2 guys that have jumped on board one is Robbie Topi from Idaho. Thank you, Robbie. I absolutely love this guy. He's a badass, and he is serious. He's all business. And add to that, which may be the biggest name in arm wrestling today, the ever charismatic, the big personality, the outspoken, one and only, the beast, Travis Bagent. Will be here in Red Deer, Alberta.
And that's awesome. And when we started talking about this a little bit, man, it's exciting, and this might be the path for me to get my another shot at Travis.
Well,
so let's talk about format. What are we gonna do for format?
Well, you know what? I'll be honest. I do not have an answer at this time. We did talk a little bit. That sounded good. Justin Bishop threw an idea out there too that kind of sounded all right. So I think maybe this will take a little bit more planning. We'll talk about it in a later show what we come up with for the format. But yeah, it'll be a 4-way super match showdown. And I'll say right now, if everybody was interested, we can make it a 6-man. If anybody else, Devin Larrett, hey.
And it's a left hand, strictly left hand, right?
Yep.
So we got myself, Passmore, Bagent, and Topi.
Yep, for $1,000.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you wanna try to get Laird in there. That'd be good too.
You might want to edit this part out, but Bagent just texted me and says we're getting sued.
How? I don't want to edit that out. How are we getting sued?
I don't know. Bagent.
I know what he's talking about. He's talking about getting sued because WAL is going to probably file a lawsuit against you based on his participation. And he's been pretty open about that in the past when he's talked about it.
Well, Bagent, I talked to Bagent in depth. I just want to say this about Travis right now, and I hope a lot of people tune into this. That guy is the real deal in terms of personality. I love that man. He is an absolute treasure. I mean, what a great guy. The conversation I had with him, and I'll be straight up, I'm a nobody in this sport. And, for all you guys, Ryan, Gabriella, Justin Bishop, Travis Bagent, Matt Mask, I can go on and on. This is why I love this sport, is because of people like you that make guys like me feel so welcome. And those personalities have honestly just made me fall in love with this sport. And I want to take this time to thank everyone for that. I believe you guys are the best athletes on the planet today of any sport. There's nobody's got a stuck up nose. That you make everybody feel just truly, truly welcome in the sport of arm wrestling. So congrats to everybody on that. It's why I love this sport.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Travis is coming. Is there anything else Travis is going to be doing while he's at the event?
There is. So Travis is coming, push, pull, or drag. He said he is not missing this. He doesn't care how he has to get here. He is not missing this event. And he has agreed that he's going to be the MC of the entire event. So nice. That guy doesn't. He is the personality that I think will take this tournament above and beyond anything we've seen.
All right, man. So let's talk just quickly. The four-man format. Is that happening on the Saturday with all the other super matches as well?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know. I really want to keep, just judging and watching other tournaments. I do think I want to keep all the professional matches on Saturday. I want to keep the youth and the amateurs and the smaller super matches on the Friday. I want Saturday to be an absolute blockbuster of an event, and just all pros, all big names. Let's battle it out. Let's see who the baddest dude is, and let's blow this out of the water. Not taking away anything from the amateurs, because some terrific amateur pullers, and I believe in this tournament, the amateurs won't be amateurs. I think we'll be seeing, So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. That's kind of what I'd like to see. There's a lot of work to be done yet. So,
cool. Well, Jeff, you got anything you want to wrap up with, or are we good?
I I think that we covered it all. And, but this is an invitation, everybody watching. I invite everybody across North America, South America, Europe. Come to this event. It's for a great cause, and you're going to be able to meet, see, and pull with some of the best pullers in the planet today. And I missed one thing, and that is one super match between some kids. That is Dane Fox against Clayton Lucker. Watch out for that one Friday.
That sounds awesome.
Because those two will be going toe to toe.
Okay, let's plan on doing a live show coming up here, and we will invite people to join us in the live feed and actually chat more about this event in the coming weeks.
Absolutely.